Welcome back to another episode of Pass and Me Pod. I'm your host Dominic, of course, joined by my co-host Aaron. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
I'm feeling great this week. I can't lie. We'll get into it, but feeling good, bro. But for this week's episode, we got a special guest, ZK Chelsea fan. How you doing, my bro?
Yeah, bro, I'm good. I'm good. Not great about the results, but I'm good to be here. And
Now we'll get into all that, but I feel like the only place to start is probably the most recent game. Man United Wolves 4-3, bit of a madness. And yeah, to be honest, I guess just kick it off with when the lineups came out, right? It was probably our full strength team. Like, and Ten Hag has said throughout the season that he said in press conferences that only judge his team once everyone's fit. And I don't know, for me, that's like everyone has injuries. Do you know what I mean? You can't say you can't judge the team when you've got a couple injuries. But I was like, cool. This for me was like his last chance before I'm fully like he's fully lost me as a gaffer. But yeah, full strength lineup. And the first half, I'm not gonna lie, was definitely the best we played all season. I feel like I say that every time we play somewhat decently, but this was generally the best way we played all season. In possession, we were good. We played with intent. We were aggressive. Out of possession, we did well to win the ball back. There was still a couple things here and there that weren't the cleanest. Casemiro, uh, I mean, Casemiro for me, Casemiro's finished, man. But yeah, I mean, we did well in the first half, and then second half, we started well, and we gave away the penalty. For me, what do you guys think of the penalty? Because for me, I think it was soft in it. But once it's been given, I don't see VAR overturn it because there was contact.
yeah, that's exactly what I think. It's one of them ones where if the ref gives it, they'll go with it. If they don't give it, they won't give it.
Yeah.
Like it's not clear and obvious. Do you know what I mean? To
Yeah,
to
Mm.
overall.
yeah. But obviously, that's a bit unfortunate. Concede the goal, and I don't know. I've seen it many times in the Champions League this season where we've been up comfortable with somewhat controlling the game, and we can see the goal out of somewhere, and the boys just collapse and we just start shipping goals, chances. The game just turns, momentum's on the other team side, and it kind of happened again in this game. Obviously McTominay came on, we scored again, 3-1 up, and then two goals basically at the end of the game to tie it up. Um, I can't even set pieces for the 3-2 is a corner for the 3-2. Set pieces have been something that we've struggled at all season. I don't know. We supposedly have a set piece coach, but I've not seen us improve at set pieces, attacking or defensively at all this season, to be honest. And then for 3-3, bro, I don't even know. It's like the what 92nd minute or something. I don't know why we have all of our players in the box, bro. And I like surely in that situation you just go short, you keep it in the corner. Now we whip it into the box, and as soon as they got it out, counter attack, I knew it. I knew I saw Neto running there on the right. I said, yeah, cut in, bang, cash money, and yeah.
Yeah.
But little did I know that Kobe Manu was coming to save us. Bro, I got to talk in this guy, man, because that what he just did there is not normal. It's not normal of any midfielder, let alone 18 years of age. You know what I mean? What a way to score your first Premier League goal for the club. And this kid's been special, man. United fans have been talking about him, to be fair, since the FA Youth Cup run. And it's an interesting one because he's a really rare profile in terms of like what he can do. He's comfortable in possession. He's got a good sense of the game, good sense of tempo, but he's also out of possession. He's aggressive. He's got he's 18, but he seems like his body is ready to play in the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? And he's got that maturity about him, that composure, and I mean, he showed us what he can do going forward to win the game. Ice cold with the celebration as well. I mean, can't complain to be honest. Yeah, excellent performance from Kobe all round to be honest, and yeah, rounds up with a goal. But if you, what do you guys think of the game if you caught it?
Gonna go first, Aaron.
Yeah, sure. I'd say, bro, that game, a lot happened in that game, you know.
Mm,
One of the funniest things for me, right? Actually, no, there's a few funny things, but I'll start with one. One of the funniest things for me in that game was Bruno. I think Bruno
oh,
was hilarious because even I think it was for the Neto goal. Wait, was it? Was it the Neto one? I think it was the Neto one. Is like someone I remember seeing someone on Twitter, someone was like, why is everyone so high? Like, why are we conceding
mm,
everything yet? And when you watch it, it's like Bruno's telling them, yeah, like get up the pitch, get up the pitch. And then we lose the ball and go the other way. Nah, I thought it was hilarious. There was a moment he had a cross on the left-hand side and it was like I think
Garnacho was still on the right foot.
Garnacho was literally
Yeah,
there. Like
and he just
it was.
ballooned it, bro.
I didn't understand it. Like I don't know that game. I don't know. I'm not a Bruno fan anyway, but I think that game was just really bad. Like there was a lot of times where it's like I don't know. It feels like he's like the game is like you guys were playing well in the first half, as you said. Like the game was kind of settled. Like you guys are doing well, playing the ball about. It is like people say he doesn't thrive in like high like turnover like moments and transition moments, but he was the one making those turnovers. Like he was the one making things unsettled. You know what I mean? Like to me, I don't know. It was very funny. Other funny thing I'd say from that game was Anthony. I didn't see why Anthony came on anyway. I thought Rashford was pretty good actually. I thought he had a good a good performance against Wolves, and I thought he done well on the left, but Anthony then coming on for him on the left. I think when you guys needed a goal at the time as well, like I don't know, it seemed a bit of a weird substitution to me. And then Anthony did get a chance, like two chances, I think, to go and attack with the ball, and he cut back inside onto his right foot. Like I don't know, it's just a bit weird for me personally. I don't really get it, but overall, I think from the first half, you got the result you deserve from the first half. If you look at it from the whole game point of view, I don't know, man. It was a bit, I don't know. But as for Kobe, bro, that's a footballer, man. That's a player. I've just got 1% of hope left in me that he's coming to play for Ghana, but I didn't see it happening, man. If someone could convince him, maybe Kudus can pull him for a conversation, say, yo, come on, man, we can build something here. But I don't see it happening, man. But great player, man. And it was a really good game, I can't lie. From a neutral in that game, I'm a neutral from that sort of perspective. I think it was a really good game to watch. When Neto scored, I went crazy. And then Mainoo scored, I went crazy again. Like I can't lie. Really good game, man. But Zeki, what do you think of the game?
No, legit. Like you are saying, United. That's prime time entertainment. You might not be able to entertaining game to watch. Like end to end turnovers, goals. Like it was a great game to watch. From my perspective, I'm a fan of Rashford. I like Rashford a lot. So to see him come back after a bit of the controversy around him, get a goal, good game generally. Nice to see Højlund with his goal. Like they're starting to rack up now. It's nice to see that as well. Højlund obviously had his fair share of criticism earlier in the season, but Mainoo, I feel like it's hard not to talk about this kid. He's just. You said that he's a rare profile. I think he's probably the rarest you're gonna find. Like he can do, like we were talking about a guy who plays in a double or can play double pivot or plays an 8 and like the deeper one. And what he can do, he can literally do everything. He can evade a press, he can dribble, carry, he can play a pass, he can score a goal. He's got the defensive nous as well. Like you guys have just unearthed a £100 million midfielder from your academy. Like to me, that's insane, especially after your track record with midfielders and the fact that you had Pogba come through and now to have this guy come through, it's insane. I'll be honest, it's hard to watch him and not feel jealous.
Talented, man. Talented, man.
Yeah, you must
What can I say? Nah, but quickly on Rashford, I just wanted to say my piece on him because I've always been a Rashford fan just because I mean growing up like he was obviously coming through doing what he was doing for us, and I don't know, I just thought it was crazy like United fans on Twitter talking about we need to sell this guy because of like the one mistake that he's made, and okay, fair enough, like it's unprofessional and stuff, but bro, all of your favorites have had moments like that. Rooney, you're acting like Rooney was like a saint or like Rio and guys like that. You know what I mean? Everyone makes mistakes, but I'm happy that he responded in the right way. Do you know what I mean? It's getting on the pitch, it's getting your way back into the team, and it's scoring a goal and being decisive in the game. And yeah, for me, I think it was a great way for him to respond. As you said, Højlund as well, racking up goals. I think it's 5 goals and assists in his last 5 games for him. He's starting to build, starting to put things together. Looks to be building a better relationship with the front three. I'm liking Rashford, Højlund, and Garnacho as the front three. I think Garnacho on the right, it forces him to play a bit different, obviously, because he can't just cut in and shoot on his right foot. He has to play a bit more. He's playing with angles that he's not so familiar with, and it forces him to be a bit more creative. And I like that. I think that's a benefit for the team. I think I've seen something like his last 3 starts at right wing. He's created 9 chances and 4 of them big chances or something like that.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
for us, where we're struggling to score goals, like we're gonna need that, and especially when, as you mentioned, the guy behind him is Anthony. Like, you know, what I mean, that spot needs to be Garnacho's for now. So yeah. But moving on to your boys, ZK, Chelsea. You said you're a little bit jealous of Kobe coming through our academy. Obviously, you've got a couple £100 million midfielders
Yeah,
in your team. Um, 4-1 lost to Liverpool.
yeah.
What did you
Um,
what did you make of the game? What did you make of the performance, bro?
I think it's hard to like sit here and criticize the players. So I feel like when I'm watching that game, I'm just watching Enzo and Caicedo and how far they are apart on the pitch,
Mm.
and
yeah,
it's just like, bro, like we're playing with 3 or 4 at the back with one pivot player, and he's expected to carry the build up by himself, Caicedo. And like the spaces are so large, like the setup needs to be more compact than that. Like at the end of the day, as a coach, you want to be maximizing your best players' strengths and minimizing or like hiding their weaknesses. And what you're doing out there is literally just hanging them out to dry. Like it's difficult to criticize the players. I feel like when it's such a poor performance like that, it's like, man, you have to look elsewhere. It's not just a player problem. Because bro, it's a £220 million pivot. Like they're good players as well. Like, and I'm certain of it that they are good players. So I feel like, despite the fact that the result was 4-1, and it feels shameless to say this, like in another world, we might have got something out of it with the 2 penalty calls. Maybe
Yeah,
like defensively we're a bit solid, a bit more solid. Um, Badia Shield had a really poor game, especially when he moved to left back. He struggled with that. I thought Gallagher was poor as well when he played. He was, yeah, I'm not shocked he
yeah.
got subbed off at half time. Um, I don't know, bro. It's hard because I don't want to go into our players and just stick it on them. I just think it's a coaching problem, and like Poch is not doing his best to maximize the best players and like minimize their weaknesses. He's not doing that. He's maximizing maybe the worst players. I don't know. It's not looking great from a coaching perspective.
so for you as a Chelsea fan, are you kind of losing faith with Poch a bit? Because I mean, he's been given this squad. Okay, a lot of the signings aren't his, but he does have a lot of good players, good player profiles. And as you said, like the setup in terms of in build up and your structure on the pitch is not good enough. So for you, are you kind of just losing faith in him? Is it a time for a new manager? Do you think maybe at the end of the season?
The thing is, like, firstly, I wasn't huge on Poch before he came in. I still felt like we could have given more time to Potter. Because I feel like he was the one given a horrible scenario to deal with, not Poch. Poch has had a preseason, he's had time to gel players in, settle them in, and whatnot. Um, Potter was the one just thrown in it completely. Um, I think the thing is, I'm trying to put myself in his shoes, and I'm trying to understand why you might play the way you are playing right now. Because in preseason, he kind of sold us a dream. He had a nice little 3-2-5 system cooking, um, and the attacking rotations were nice. We were playing nice football, generally speaking. Um, I'm trying to understand, and I'm thinking like, okay, cool. You're not trying to control games. You're trying to play transitionally, and if you're trying to play transitionally, what benefit do you get from that? And the main benefit is probably the attacker's benefit because you're coming up against 2 or 3 defenders instead of a settled block that you're trying to break down. We've had games where like we've had loads of possession, sorry, and we've not actually broken down the team, tried and actually got a goal. So I'm thinking maybe that's why he's tried to go down this line, but going down this line or going down this route, sorry, and then if you don't get the results, it feels it's not great because you're not, like you're sacrificing the process to get results, and then you're not getting the results as well. Um, I think I want to give him time at least till the end of the season because at the end of the day, there's not really great coaching options on the market. I do think we need to start looking at options now though, because in the summer there's going to be a few clubs looking for managers. You've got Liverpool, Barcelona, possibly you guys, United.
Yeah.
Um, so it's better to be looking now and be proactive because the next choice has to be the right choice. But I feel like I'd give him to the end of the season and I'd give him time to at least get Nkunku into the team because
Yeah.
I think it was Newcastle in the Carabao Cup. when he came on, he changed to a 3-2-5, the one that we played in pre-season, and we actually looked good for the last 10 or so minutes when Nkunku was on the pitch. So I'm thinking Nkunku, Carney, these two are probably really like pivotal to the way he wants to play, and like maybe that's also part of why he's moved away from it. So I'm thinking, okay, cool, let them two come back into the side, see what happens, give him to the end of the season, and then we can evaluate what the situation is with the manager. But at the moment, if he continues like this, then nah, I don't really see him lasting for long.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. And then obviously this game's a preview to the Carabao Cup final. You guys have that end of February, I believe, against Liverpool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you saying for that? Because I mean, I think Carabao or the League Cup is kind of it's a bit Chelsea heritage, the way Jose came in and kind of took the competition seriously. And obviously winning a trophy will do wonders for the players' confidence and things like that. So how much pressure are you putting on this game? Is it a must win for you? Is it just kind of like go out there, see what you can do? Because obviously Liverpool are a great side. Do you know what I mean? So
I think if the opposition was different, I would turn around and say it's a must-win game. I feel like turning around and saying it's a must-win against Liverpool is almost disrespectful in a sense to Liverpool because they are a good team.
mm,
I think for us, it would be lovely to win that because obviously this squad had a poor season, generally speaking. I feel like this might be like the first step towards developing like a winning culture at the club because at the end of the day, like this club doesn't have a culture at the moment. You've completely stripped the players out. Usually, what happens is generations pass it on to the next. Like we've completely just got rid of everyone and brought in new players. There's not a winning culture or any type of culture developed at the club at the moment. So we need to develop that. It would be ideal to win the trophy to start that. I just think Liverpool's a tough opponent. I think we can't line up the way we did against Liverpool at Anfield.
Yeah.
I think
mm,
we'll probably do better because at Stamford Bridge the game was much closer, and maybe like being a neutral venue might bring the ties closer to each other, and we might play a bit more closer to their level. Because the other day was poor, but yeah, I think by then February 25th, I think it is right, a month from
yeah,
now. Hopefully, Nkunku's back up to speed because he came on and he saw his goal. Like
yeah, he
he's
looked
a
good against Liverpool.
bro. I can't lie. He just seems like another level. Like he brings like the level of other players around him up as well. I really need him like in the team. By then, maybe potentially he's starting. Maybe Lavia comes back by then as well, and then we've got another option in midfield. I don't know. Let's see. I wouldn't say it's a must win, but I feel like it would be great for us to win.
Yeah, no, fair enough. And Aaron, what did you make of Liverpool's performance? Obviously, they're your title rivals at the moment. Um, yeah. What did you think of how they played?
Um, boy, that was one of their better performances this season. I can't lie. That was a really good performance. I don't know. I think the main thing I was watching that game, and the main thing that was like going on in my head is like, bro, we played this Chelsea side and we drew 4-4. Like it was that's what was just burning me inside. But nah, it was a great performance. Great performance. I think even to do that without Trent and Salah as well, like two of their best players, like it was a really strong performance. Connor Bradley looks really, really good.
Fantastic, yeah.
Really, really solid fullback. Like he looks like he's gonna be serious like for them. I think he's got like 5 GA in like his last 5 games for them. Like he's looked
Mm.
really good recently. Um but as also need to talk about the striker Darwin Nunes.
I was gonna ask you about it.
Bro, I don't know, man. I honestly don't know. I don't. I've always not really thought he's since he's joined Liverpool. I haven't really thought he's that good. But I don't know, man. That game is crazy to me, man. 10 shots and then 10 miss.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
I think my bro. I left the room or something. Yeah, and then I get a notification from a group chat and everyone's saying Darwin. I'm thinking he scored. And I go back and see the 10 miss. I'm like, oh my gosh. Nah, he's a funny guy, man. I don't know. It's interesting because he gets a lot of chances and he gets like he had 10 shots, you know what I mean? Like he has a lot of opportunities. He's a fast striker, like he will get the ball. It's just like he's not putting it away. And I don't know, man. I think that's kind of I guess you could say that's kind of a I guess you could say it's kind of like a testament to how Chelsea were set up and how Liverpool was set up, in the sense of if Darwin was putting away those chances, that scoreline could be very different. Do you know what I mean? And not only that, is if Darwin was putting away those chances, it didn't feel like Liverpool were going to stop attacking. Do you know what I mean? It felt like they were going to continue to have their way in terms of getting at Chelsea and stuff. And I think one of the sort of one sort of moment that I would say kind of summarized the game in a sense was, I think, the mistake from Thiago Silva. I think it was the third or fourth goal. And I don't know, in that clip, when you watch the goal, Liverpool just popping it about. I'm pretty sure every player in their starting 11 touched the ball for that goal. They're just popping it about. And then you got Enzo Fernandez is in the middle, like basically by himself. And he doesn't like scan at all. He doesn't look away from the ball. He's just watching the ball, and it just floats past him. And then Thiago Silva makes a mistake, and then back post, Badiashile makes a mistake, goal. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that's kind of like I don't know. It just felt like the difference in the levels between the teams there was quite big, I think. And it's not something you'd expect. Well, I mean, it's something you'd expect from the sides at this point, but it's not something you'd expect when you look at them on paper, when you look at like things like the spending, or like when you look at the amount of investment that Chelsea have had into like defense, for example, over the last season and a half. Like, it's not something you'd expect to see, but within the context of the game, I guess it is. But I don't know, man. It was a bit interesting. I don't know. It's a bit of a funny game. Obviously, as a neutral again in this one. Well, technically not really much of a neutral, because I did want Liverpool to lose because title race, you know what I mean. But it was an interesting game for the neutral to watch, I'd say.
Yeah, no, definitely. ZK, bro, what do you think? Do you think Liverpool can go all the way this season, win the title? Klopp's last season. Do you think they've got what it takes to get over their line?
Bro, you seen that tweet probably, innit, with every 50-50 decision is going to be 80-20 Liverpool now.
Yeah.
Bro, I can't lie. If it continues, I'll be real, bro. Like, that penalty call that they had in that game was soft. Especially if, like,
Yeah.
you're not going to give the two that we had. Like, you can't give the Jota one. Bro, if it continues like that, and, like, bro, if they play like the way that they did against us, continue with, like, a determination. Because, bro, like, even before we talk tactics, like, they won every duel, bro. Like,
Yeah.
first and second balls, they were getting there first. Like determination takes you away, like, a long way in football. I think about that the Arsenal game last season, and like the first half Arsenal were all over them at Anfield, but then second half they come out. Klopp's not made any tactical changes, but all that's happened is the crowd's on their back now because I think it was Xhaka or someone like angered the crowd, and things completely changed. No tactical changes were needed. It was literally just a determination thing, and like. Anfield, bro, Klopp, like, leaving, but like the narratives are there for it to happen. They've also got Salah and Trent to come back. Potentially, I'll be real, they're a good competitor. I don't like at the beginning I thought how they there, but now I'm starting to potentially see that okay, cool, they might actually be a competitor at the top and go all the way. Especially because I don't think Arsenal are as good as they were last season, in my personal opinion. And City had a slow start, but like obviously they got KDB coming back now, Harden coming back, so it will be a good one. It'll be a good one, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I think so. It will be tough. We still got to play them. That's that period. Yeah, nah. My head's never been more gone than that period when we were drawing to Chelsea, Liverpool, Spurs. Nah, that is the most my head's ever been good, because we still got to play Liverpool at Anfield now in the title run. So now it's just looking long. Like, I think they've only lost like one game all season in the Prem. Like, it's
and it was that game against Spurs with the VAR, like, madness.
Do you know what I mean? They shouldn't have even lost that game.
They really could be unbeaten this season. We could actually be talking about Liverpool unbeaten right now.
I think I saw a tweet saying something like they've lost one in their last 53 home games or something like that. I might be talking rubbish right now.
The Anfield.
And that was the VAR game. So like, we're talking about a fortress right now at Anfield.
I don't know, man. It's gonna be a good title race for you guys to witness, at least, man. Because, bro, I don't know, man. But we'll see.
Yeah, nah, definitely. Move on to the other side of the title race then. City, obviously your boys. Decent week for you lot. 1-0 win against Spurs in the FA Cup, and then 3-1 against Burnley in the league. Two goals for Julian Alvarez, who you've been critical of on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's wrong with Julian, bro? Talking him, man.
Nah, he's back in his position, bro. Like he's doing his thing now. He's back at striker. No more funny business. He's not playing in number 8 no more. He's actually playing. I think he played in terms of expectations. Like he was outperforming what you'd expect him to be doing when he was playing 8, but he just wasn't playing good. And I think now it's like he's not playing great either, but he's doing what he needs to do. He's putting the ball in the back of the net. He's getting assists where he can get assists. You know what I mean? Like it's not something I can complain at now. Do you know what I mean? Like he obviously got a brace. It was his birthday as well. And he got a brace. Like he's probably enjoying himself right now. But obviously we've got Haaland coming back. He came off the bench. Had a bit of a bad cameo, but it's you know, he's been out for 2 months. That's the longest he's been out for his whole career is 2 months, and it was with us. It's like I don't know, let him get back up to match fitness, and I don't know. We're gonna see hopefully against Brentford, the return. Hopefully he's gonna get like a nice little hat trick or something. But as for the Tottenham game, that's our first. I'm pretty sure it's our first win Tottenham away
Let's
in
go in that
8
stadium, man.
years, 8 years and 8 months, and it's our first goal at Tottenham away in 8
Eight
years.
years, bro.
Yeah,
8 years,
our last
bro.
our last win Tottenham away was 2015, and our last goal was 2015 as well, but we lost that game. I'm pretty sure 2-1. But yeah, no, it's crazy. They've been our bogey team for the longest. Like we just can't score against them.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, man. It's insane. But I mean, we got the result in the end, so I can't complain too much. On to the next round. But as for the thing that I'm mainly like sort of happy about is KDB being back, man. Like KDB's back. He's doing what he's no, I wouldn't even say he's doing what he was doing last season, because he doesn't look the same as he did last season. Like last season, I didn't know he was playing with the hamstring injury until obviously they revealed it after Champions League. But like at this point last season, he looked sluggish. Do you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure he got benched against Spurs in that one game. Like he looks like, I don't know, he didn't look like the same version he looks now. Now when you see him play, he looks a lot happier. He looks, obviously he's got like his new haircut, and he's got teeth. I think pretty sure he got his teeth done as well. But like now he's like I don't know, like you're watching the game and you're seeing him like going proper into 50-50s. Like he's running around in the midfield, going left, right, center. Like he's doing a lot more than he did last season. And I don't know, I'm glad to see it, because I don't know, with these injuries that he's been catching recently over like the last few years since like 2020, it just feels like he's been declining in terms of like physicality, and in terms of, I don't know, just like having the energy to be able to do things. But now it feels like he's been like refreshed by the rest he's had. He's been out for like 6 months now. Like he's back, and it feels like he's really like ready to go for the title race. So that's the only thing that's really sort of that, I'll be honest, that's apart from, I don't know, apart from like Haaland, like that's the only thing that I've got a bit of faith. Like, yeah, we're gonna win this title. Do you know what I mean? Because if not, if we're carrying on with this, Alvarez playing in 8 and Foden getting pushed out to left wing against Aston Villa, like, nah, man, I don't know. My head would just be gone when I'm seeing Liverpool winning every single game, and then we're here playing against teams like Spurs with 4 fullbacks and struggling to get a win. Like, I don't know, man, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes, especially with I'd say with the winger situation right now. Obviously Doku played he started in our last game. I don't think he's been that good recently. I think he had an injury obviously over like the December period, but since the Bournemouth game basically, which is like a while ago, that's like November, early November. Since then, I wouldn't say maybe he had a great performance. I guess you could say against Liverpool, but I wouldn't say he's had like a top performance in a while. And it feels like, I don't know, him and Grealish. Obviously, Grealish is, I think his house got robbed like last month, but it feels like between the two of them, there's not really like a clear sort of like winner yet. Like it felt like there was gonna be Doku like running away with it at the start of the season, but it feels like now there's a bit more of a contest or a competition, at least between the two of them for that starting winger spot. But I don't know if you guys managed to catch the game at all, if you have any thoughts on the game. But if you do.
You wanna go, Dom?
Oh, no, no, you go. You're the guest. Rude on me.
So I caught the last bit of the Tottenham game because
Mm.
I didn't. I was watching the Chelsea one.
Mm.
I caught the goal. Yeah, I can't lie. For you guys to get a win over there, it's a nice little, what's it called? You know, superstition, just getting rid of it. Like I feel like that was your bogey team. You've cut that now, and you're past it. Like, so that's big for you guys. In terms of the Burnley game, I didn't watch it, but I did see that Fofana cook. Well,
Yeah.
Chelsea Lone Arm, he had me there with a little video there. I can't lie, like in terms of De Bruyne, I think with De Bruyne, I see it as well. Like he does look, I feel like he seems way like stress free compared to what he's doing in past seasons. And it might just be because he's got the Champions League done now, and it's not something like sitting on his mind. And especially as you're getting older, you're probably thinking my time's probably running out to win it. And now he's got it done, like can chill and relax, enjoy himself. Seems like you can actually just feel it, like the carefreeness of him now, like the hairstyle as well. I can't lie, man. I'm feeling this little transformation from De Bruyne, to be honest. Yeah, I agree completely with the fact that he looks physically way better than last season. Last season, I was starting to think, okay, cool, we might be seeing the end of Kevin De Bruyne soon, maybe, and Foden might take that spot, and it might be the end completely. But now I'm watching him. I'm thinking this guy looks revitalized. We've got a few more years of this guy to watch. His comeback, I think the game against Newcastle when he came on, he's completely changed the game. It's like, bro, bro, like, you know, when I think about this guy, bro, like you could, I don't know how to describe it. Like it's like pinpoint accuracy. He's like, you know, score hero, bro. Like he's actually that, like in real life,
it's fake, bro. Like he's got aimbot on his passes.
I lie, bro. It's literally that. Like I'm watching this guy and he's just passed it into the back of the net from all that range. Like, bro, this guy's fake, man. Like, he's an XG cheater as well. And I can't lie, going into the late parts of the season, that's important because, like, your counter-attacking capabilities are up now as well. KDB off of Haaland. You might need that at certain points in the season, especially in the crunch times. So yeah, I can't lie. Them two coming back really puts the title race into a good position for you guys.
It does. I think one thing I quickly want to mention that I forgot to mention is someone who's kind of like made a bit of a name for himself. I say Oscar Bob. I think he's really he's become, because I can't lie, I didn't think he was ever like gonna play for us. Like I thought he would just be like sent on loan eventually, and then like I don't know, just like maybe sell him or something. And when Cole Palmer left, like I was thinking, like, what are we doing? Like we have no, like this is such a bad decision. Like we literally had a right winger there waiting for us, and now we've sent him for 40 million when he's like, in my opinion, worth like probably double that. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know. It didn't make sense to me. But now I can see what Pep sort of had the vision for. Like Bob, it seems like he's a bit more of a Pep style player in the sense of he plays more like, I would say more like Bernardo Silva, like sort of focuses on like retention, and he's sort of better in tight spaces and just playing like little one-touch passes and stuff like that. He's really like sort of established himself. I wouldn't say as a starter yet, because obviously if we have a Champions League knockout match tomorrow, I don't think he's going to start over like Bernardo Silva. But like it's really going to be something to think about when it comes to like March, April times. Like I think he's really sort of set himself up in terms of like for the future. When we look at, I think Bernardo Silva is basically gone this season because he's got a 50 mil release clause, so he's practically gone. But I think when you look at squad planning and stuff, like it feels like he's going to be a proper name. When you look at guys like Palmer last season wasn't getting a look in, McAtee's gone on loan for a second season. Do you know what I mean? It feels like he's not gonna fall into that category. It feels like he's really gonna become like someone who stays with the team, not necessarily like a Phil Foden straight away, but like someone who's like within the team at least and playing the minutes that you'd expect like rotation players to get. you know what I mean? And I think he's done well. I think you wouldn't expect him. He's like 21 or 20, I'm pretty sure, but he relative to like the amount of minutes he's played for City, like this is like his first actual season playing for us, and you wouldn't expect him to sort of feel so like I don't know the word. Like it feels like he's just like been here for a while. Like he's suited to the way we play football and just like he's mature enough to play, if that makes sense. But yeah, he's done really well. So I just want to give him a quick shout out. I think he's a great player for us.
Yeah. No, I'd have to agree, to be honest. I've been impressed with him, the way he's come into the team. Obviously, it's not easy. Like City have some of the best players in the world. As an academy player, it's never going to be easy to come into it. And you guys even have a great academy, but you like half of the players never see the light of day playing for City.
Yeah,
And yeah, from coming with these scores early in the season, the Champions League, I believe, scored against Newcastle, that goal. I think obviously people are talking about the pass, but I think he did really well, nice and composed there to take it around the goalkeeper and knock it into the goal.
yeah,
Good performance against Spurs as well. A bit unlucky with the offside, is very tight one
yeah,
on his disallowed goal. But yeah, I agree with what you said. Good in tight spaces, technically secure, and yeah, it seems like a natural kind of progression for him to come into the first team. Like he just does fit the way that you play, and I think that's probably testament to your academy, to be honest. Just like how linear everything is within City as a club, that player like that can just come in and slot into the team so perfectly. Hmm. But yeah, moving on to the Villa versus Newcastle game, 3-1 to Newcastle in this game away from him at Villa. I f- this was a bit of an interesting game for me because I feel like these two teams have kind of switched positions this season, if
yeah,
you know what I mean. Like last season, Newcastle were the ones in top four. Everybody was kind of like wherever they come from. Like they've got a couple new signings coming in doing well, and Villa dropped off, and then Unai Emery did come and pick them up towards the end of the season. They did go on a very good run, but obviously this season it's kind of been reversed. You know, Newcastle have dropped off, and Villa have done very well with Emery, and they've been very like well organized and compact, and have done well to beat some of the big names, especially at home. So for Newcastle to come to Villa Park and beat them 3-1, it was interesting. Did Aaron, do you catch this game? What do you think of it?
yeah. I did quite. I caught quite. If I can speak, I caught quite a bit of it. I think it was interesting because I remember like one of the first games of the season was this fixture, and
Mm,
Newcastle destroyed them. Like it was like 5-1 or something. I'm pretty sure.
yeah.
Like they showed. So I thought this time, obviously, back then after seeing that, I was thinking, yo, like Newcastle, like cementing themselves as the third best team in the league. Like they're really gonna do stuff. And then it feels like they've had a really tough season. Like you look at the sort of conversations that we had after that game compared to how people are looking at it before this game. Like it feels really different. But I don't know. It was a bit weird. Like I don't even think Newcastle were really even at full strength like that. Like I don't know.
Mm,
It felt a bit like going into the game and based off what you've seen this season, it felt like it would be going the other way 3-1. But great performance. I thought Gordon was great against them. Um, always been a fan of Gordon, man. That's my guy. I know obviously you had
mm.
the Gordon prediction start of the season
Yeah,
saying
man. Yeah, man. He's going
wake
to the
up
Euros,
stuff.
bro. I'm telling you,
He has to.
he needs
I
to be on
think
the
he
plane.
has to.
He needs to be on the
I think
plane.
he has to. I think when you look at the wingers we have, I think I don't know. There's not many that I'd say deserve to play over him. There's not many I'd say are better than him as well. When you look at the wingers we're selecting, especially if we're no disrespect, but if we're selecting like Jared Bowen and these types, like I think there has to be a
Mm,
bit of room for
Yeah.
Gordon personally.
definitely.
Yeah, no, I don't know what you guys thought about the game, but I thought it was pretty interesting the way that it feels like recently, at least, it feels like Villa are a bit less dangerous. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you'd say they've fallen off necessarily, but it felt like there was a time where maybe in December you'd say Villa, oh, could Villa like be really like in this title race? You know what I mean? Now it doesn't feel like there's that sort of dangerousness that they used to have back then, where it's like they're really really. I haven't checked the points tally specifically or the table, but it doesn't feel like there is. I don't know. It doesn't feel like you'd be as scared of them now, maybe as you would have been when they beat us 1-0, for example. But I don't know. What do you guys think of that?
Is that okay? Did you catch again?
I did catch the game. I think in terms of Newcastle, I think with them, I feel like they did start the season strongly. I think the main reason they kind of fallen off is the injuries. Like they've had it bad, really bad, and they've been playing the same lineup consistently all the time.
Yeah.
The one like guy that's been consistently starting almost is Gordon. And in terms of Gordon, because we talked about him a bit there, both of you, I've been a big fan of him, especially since because I was watching him at Everton under Lampard.
Yeah.
And over there, like he was getting high shot numbers, like getting shots. He was either getting on the end of chances or he was creating them for himself in a poor Everton team. And I think like there was at one point there was like a stat at the beginning of like the just before transfer to Newcastle, while he was playing at Everton, I think. And his shot numbers were like close, like some of the best in Europe, like in terms of generating shots. And like you see what he does at Newcastle, he's like he functions as an outlet, like a really good one. He's great off the like last line. He like allows them to get off. Like if they're sitting deep, he's there available. And then when he actually gets on the ball himself, like he can generate shots as well. I just think Gordon is great, bro. I think for me, I think he actually has been the best left winger in the league this season. Considering the fact that quite a few left wingers have had poor seasons or dropped off. I think he has to go to the Euros. Like personally, I think it might be techie because like politics and whatnot, but I do think he should be there. In terms of Villa, I think with Villa, they're proper nasty if they're sitting back and they're on a lead. Like when if you're like if they're made to chase a game and have to come out and play against you, I don't think they're breaking you down as much as you like they should be doing. I don't think they're that good at that. And that's what Newcastle basically they did Villa back to them. You know what I mean? They got their goals, they sat back, and even though they sat back, Villa didn't really have any major chance of breaking them down. And Newcastle were always great on the counter with Gordon, particularly, and Isak as well, great like on the half turn receiving and whatnot as a centre forward. I think Newcastle are going to start to like slowly climb back up the table, especially as people start coming back. I think with Villa, I think I agree with what Aaron said. I think the title talk was premature, and I think they're going to start dropping down the table again. When we played them as well, I know we played at Stamford Bridge, but I just did not think they were a good team. Like, and I feel like we should have won that game, to be honest, and like killed the tie there and not been going back to Villa Park, which is much more difficult to play at. But yeah, I think they're great when they've got a lead and they're actually countering you. They're dangerous as hell. But if you get the lead on them and they're having to break you down, I don't think they're going to do a great job of doing that.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. One thing I saw in that game was I think they played with like a midfield four. Obviously, you've got Douglas Luiz, Kamara, you've got McGinn and Tielemans. So there's no real like natural wingers there. And that you had the only winger that you had that was a natural winger was Diaby, and he was playing up front, and then Watkins obviously. So they were quite narrow, and I feel like that definitely hurt them when you're trying to break down, as you said, a Newcastle team who are quite good defensively, and you're chasing the lead. And I think as well, especially against Newcastle, like if you're gonna try and hurt them, going down the wings isn't a bad idea because Trippier's not been in the best form this season. Dan Burn can definitely be got at. And I think you saw Leon Bailey come on and really stretch the game. First thing he did was get in behind Dan Burn, pull the ball back, and Watkins scored. So I don't know. For me, it was a bit. I don't know. I was just a bit confused as to why. I guess maybe injuries, but as to why Leon Bailey wasn't starting and why there was no kind of neutral wingers on either side of the pitch. To be honest, it was quite narrow, and I feel like it made it easier for Newcastle to defend, especially once they had a lead. But moving on into probably one of the more shocking results of the weekend or the week, sorry. Luton 4, Brighton 0. I said at the beginning of this pod that the Kenilworth Road is not an easy place to go. I said anybody can get run out of there. I did say it. And
It's not.
De Zerbi found out. And I know ZK, I know you want to talk about this man, Roberto De Zerbi, so I'm gonna let you go off on him, man.
Yeah, in terms of De Zerbi, I feel like he's the new flavor of the month. A lot of the clubs, big six clubs, want him at their you know what I mean? They want him at their club. I just don't think he's suited for a big club just yet. I feel like he needs to improve as a manager before that happens. I feel like it's important to note that a lot of the results that he has that are poor are against sides that are just not gonna, or are just not like expected to win against them. They might be able to sit back if the chance comes. Even though Luton did press them early on, I feel like with Brighton, especially with like the whole like trying to bait a press tactic and that. What if a team doesn't want to press you? Especially if you go higher up the table as a manager, that's gonna happen. You're gonna have clubs that turn around and be like, you know what? Let's say he's managing a Man City, they're not gonna come on to you. You know what I mean? They know the quality of player there. They know who they're playing against. They're not gonna come on to you and just give you what you want and like give you those fake transitions that you're trying to manufacture by the press baiting. I feel like, yeah, I just feel like RDZ is a bit overrated. I feel like the fact that I feel like he's come into a really nice environment as well. Like Potter did set him up nicely with what he was given. Like in terms of, I think when Potter left, they were fourth anyway. I know it was just only the start of the season, but like he left him with a good foundation in terms of the players. They've also been like he's also guided out like players that weren't able to play a style of play, a specific style of play, and the players within the club were like they had a lot of potential for growth type thing. I think he did get like really good environment given to him. I also do think he has done a good job. I just do think it's a bit overrated in the sense that I don't think he's completely just taken him from bottom to like, you know what I mean? I think that's just my main thing with RDZ. I feel like there is a flaw in his tactics or his coaching in the sense that the attacking patterns breaking down a block that's sat back and how they get caught on the counter. That's a bit iffy to me. Like those two particular like parts of his system, those are what concern me in terms of can you make the step up to the bigger clubs. But yeah, he's an interesting manager. I just don't think he's at the level that people think he's at.
No, I find that interesting. I didn't really think about that. My main thing was actually defensively, but I agree with what you're saying. I think it's like if you, for example, Man City against like I don't know like West Ham, and they're playing like 7 players on the edge of their own box, like they're not gonna try and like they're not gonna fall for the press baiting. Like they're not gonna jump out at you.
Literally.
Do you know what I mean? You're just gonna stand on the ball like for the whole game and create like a lot less chances. So I don't know. I find that quite interesting actually, and I agree. But what for me, I think defensively is my main issue with him. And some people say, but it's if he's at a bigger club, he has better centre backs, etc., etc. But I don't know. I just think defensively they're not good enough. And I think I don't know. It just feels like whenever they're losing games to like these teams that you'd expect them to win, like from looking at the table, it feels like they're always like heavy losses, like 4-0 against Luton. I think they held like 5 to Everton last season. Like it feels like they're always just holding like huge losses. I can't remember how much West Ham beat them by. It might have been like 3. I can't remember, but it just feels like they're always like losing in like dramatic fashion, if that makes sense. I don't know. But I didn't manage to catch all of the game, but I did manage to catch some of it, and I seen some comps as well, and gotta give a shout out to Ross Barkley because that's a midfielder, man. He's completely transformed himself. Like this is not the same player you'd expect from when you looked at forcing transfers to Chelsea and all that type of that early career Barkley. Like this is not the same player at all. Like he's playing basically number 6 for Luton. He's running games. He's dribbling past players. Like he's amazing. Like he's really transformed himself. So he's really doing well right now. I don't know. I've seen a lot of people saying about the England talk. I seen someone say Mainoo, Barkley, and Bellingham midfield 3.
Yeah,
We'll be there. We'll be there.
But I think if you, I don't know, I don't think it will happen. But I would like to see it happen. I'd like to see Barkley back in the England shirt and playing at least more football on the TV screens at least, because I don't know, man. I think he's a very good talent, man. Even though he is like 30, I think he is a very good lad. I think he's like now he's sort of coming to his own a bit, and he's sort of I don't know. I feel like he feels comfortable now in this Luton setup, and I don't know. I don't know if you feel comfortable in Luton in the town, but in Luton the club, I feel like he feels like like this place sort of caters to him a bit, and they let him play his game, and he dictates games. Like when we played against them, I was in the stadium. He like was pinging it about. He was making Rodri do the splits. Like he's ridiculous. Like I don't know.
if I can make a quick point about Barkley, like
Yeah.
well, obviously I've watched him quite a bit at Chelsea itself. In that season under Sarri, he tried to
Mm.
play him as an 8, and he was like in between the lines playing there. And I felt like with the problem with him while he was playing that, it felt like he was processing the game. Like sometimes he'd receive the ball and like it felt like he was still deciding what he was gonna do. And then like
Mm.
by the time he decided, he's lost the ball. Or maybe the pass is no longer on, or whatever it may be. I feel like with this transition to moving back to the 6, he's now got the play ahead of him and everything's in front of him. He's not being pressed from behind. Like the game's a completely different game when everything's ahead of you and like when you're amongst it in between the lines. And I feel like he's really benefited from that. And because with Barkley, like I've never thought technically he's got issues. I've always just thought it was mental. Like he just processes the game slowly. But like when you're playing deeper, all the fact that he can drive with a ball, the ball striking, all these type of qualities that he has, like they're all now being seen and actually working and like being maximized. So I'm actually really happy for him that this transition has made that happen.
Yeah.
But I think he's been amazing. I think like team of the season shouts. That's how good he's
Yeah, I
been
was gonna say.
so far.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think just him at Luton now, he's clearly the technical leader in that team. They all trust him with the ball in any scenario, and I think you can see how that's benefited him. Like he's just playing with absolute confidence. Like everything, as you're saying, like at Chelsea, maybe he was looking like he was processing the game, but everything seems to be kind of smooth, off the cuff, natural. Like he's getting it, giving it, knit
Realistic.
and play. Yeah, literally, knit and play together. In build up, helping him out in the final third. Yeah, literally in flow state, as you said. So yeah, nah, shout out Barkley, man. He's doing it. He's doing it for the Hatters, man. We love that. But quickly before we end the show, of course we have to touch on the Africa Cup of Nations. Um, well, a lot's happened to be fair since our last episode. Morocco, Egypt, and Senegal have all gone home, which is crazy to be honest. What
Yeah,
Morocco and well, that's three of people's favorites to be fair.
Yeah.
legit.
Senegal out on penalties to Ivory Coast after they sacked their manager. Did either of you catch that? Aaron, did you catch that game with you?
Yeah, I did. I thought that game was like, I found it so crazy because I thought Ivory Coast were like this close to going out. Like I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure if we didn't lose our game, Ivory Coast would have, or not
Mm,
draw against Mozambique. If we won that game, I'm pretty sure Ivory Coast wouldn't be here right now. And
yeah.
then they go and play Senegal and they just like play them off the park basically. Like I don't know, I felt like it was lucky to even be a 1-1 game and go to penalties. I'm pretty sure it's 1-1. I felt like
Yeah.
it was lucky to go to penalties even. Like I don't know, but it was interesting, man. I don't know. It felt like there was I don't know. Just watching the game, it always felt like something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen, and then gets the penalties, and then I mean, fair play to Ivory Coast. I haven't been keeping track of like the tree for like the knockouts and who they're gonna play next. So I don't know if you know who they're playing next, but it seems like they can now. I'm pretty sure the competition's in Ivory Coast, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and they can now, sort of now this could be like the rise from as adversity. Like they got the home crowd. Like, do you know what I mean? This could be something
Mm,
to watch out. This storyline could really come into play here, and they could go far. You know what I mean? They do sort of have the players I'd expect them to go far with anyway. Like I'm pretty sure they've got Fofana in the midfield.
Oh, he's
They've got
so good.
Frank Kessié. They've got another one. I can't remember who, but they've got another midfielder who's really good in there as well. Like, yeah, no, they could go far. Don't be surprised if they make it to the finals and do something. But well, I don't know. Did you guys catch the game at all?
I caught part of the game. I
Mm.
again was really surprised. I like Senegal, strong team to me, and Ivory Coast actually played really well. It wasn't like a lucky like I don't know
Mm.
quickly got a goal and got away with it type thing. Nah, like these guys were in there playing good football. Seko Fofana in midfield. This guy, cool. He's serious, man. This guy's an engine.
mm,
Like he gets around. He's making tackles. He's getting in there. And he's got great carrying power as well, which is nice to see. And he's arriving in the box, etc. Frank Kessié as well, top player, like played for Barcelona. Uh, Now obviously I think Saudi, but
Yeah.
can't lie. That's a great midfield that they've got there, and like could potentially go far, especially if it's being hosted in Ivory Coast. So let's see.
Yeah, no, I'd have to agree with you guys. I was definitely surprised, especially after sacking the manager. New manager bounce in the middle of the tournament is mad. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think I was surprised by some of the lineup changes because Kessie was actually dropped. He came on
Yeah.
the second half, and then Kasunu, the centre back at Leverkusen. I was
He's
surprised that he
class.
wasn't playing at all during the tournament, and this was his first appearance, and he played really well. And I think,
Yeah.
yeah, the interim manager, I can't remember his name, but yeah, he clearly was brave with his decisions, and they paid off because I think that's definitely the best Ivory Coast have played um all tournament long. And yeah, as you guys said, like they've got a bunch of strong players, and they could definitely go really far. So yeah, but I think their next game they've drawn Mali in the quarterfinals to get to the semis. So Mali also a strong team. Good in midfield again, the likes of Basuma at Tottenham. So that'll be a tough challenge for them. But we'll see how they deal with that. Um, on the other side of the bracket, of course, you have South Africa who beat Morocco playing against Cape Verde.
Yeah.
Cape Verde, who beat your boys. You beat your boys, Aaron. What can you tell us about Cape Verde, bro? What can we expect
I
in the
Nah,
in
I
this
can't
game?
lie. Nah, I can't lie. We'll give it to them. You know, when we played them, I don't know, maybe we're just rubbish in it. But when we played them, like they were actually playing like proper possession football. Like I didn't expect it. Like they were like when we got the ball, we were just panicking anyway. But they were pressing us high, like winning the ball back, and then they win the ball, play it backwards, and they just reset, calm it down, just pass it around. Like it's really like it was actually good football to be fair. So I haven't watched them since then, but I don't know. They could do something, but I also in the same breath I have been hearing South Africa's got something going on as well. I know they did the little Ronaldo celebration as a team against
Yeah.
Morocco. I find that so hilarious, but I don't know. Cape Verde. I don't know. I personally I wouldn't have them winning that game, but who knows? In it, it's AFCON. Like there could be something serious going on for them. So yeah,
Yeah, bro. Nah, anything could happen. I mean, the way South Africa crashed out Morocco was crazy. That
yeah,
when that free kick went in,
But
like,
yeah, bro.
bro,
That free kick was nasty, bro.
yeah. And for Morocco to go home this early is like what who many people would have had as the favorites because obviously what they did in the World Cup.
yeah,
Yeah, no, it's mad. And then the other quarterfinal we've got Congo, Guinea. Um, Congo and Guinea both had pretty decent routes to the final, or to the quarterfinal, sorry. Congo being Egypt on penalties, sending them home, and then Guinea being Equatorial Guinea, which is probably a pretty big upset because Equatorial Guinea topped our group.
yeah,
In Suez, they had the top goal scorer who actually missed a penalty in that game. And
yeah.
then yeah, Equatorial Guinea got a red card, and from then Guinea just kind of grew into the game, got the winner right at the death, and yeah, it was seamless. But one of the quarterfinals has been played already. Actually played today. Uh,
Yeah.
my boys Nigeria get the job done. Do you know what I'm saying? I know all of you man was hate watching us, but not today. We're not failing today. Semi-finals, yeah, that's where we're at. Do you know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, nah, good performance from us today. I'm not gonna lie. I think our defense has been incredible. Trustekong, Calvin Bassey's, Semi Ajayi have been like
Yeah.
colossal for us to be honest, and that's something that like I completely was not expecting coming into the tournament. Like with all our attacking options, we had high scorers in qualifying. Um, I would have expected to just be outscoring teams, but I think what we really conceded one goal throughout the whole AFCON, and yeah, nah, we're looking good. I'm not gonna call us favourites because favourites get crashed out of this tournament for fun. Ivory Coast is still the favourites. Their home nation. Do you know what I mean? Drogba's watching.
Yeah.
They've got so. But I think in all seriousness, we'll have a very good chance if our attack can start to click like the defense has been working as a unit. Do you know what I mean? Because the defense has been very good. They've all been covering for each other. They've all been strong, aggressive in the challenges. And our attack, I mean, Adam has been carrying us so
Yeah.
far. Going forward, I think it's three goals in his last two games. two against Cameroon and one obviously today. But I don't know. Against a stronger defense, I'm just worried that those moments won't come, and we're going to need something a bit more sustained, a bit more kind of well worked, and something like that to get the goal. But yeah, no, for you guys with the way the tournament is shaping up now, obviously, I mean, predicting a winner for AFCON could be pointless. But who do you guys think is going to win the tournament from this point on? ZK, let's start with you.
Well, like you say, and predicting whatever we're going to predict right now is a very high chance that we're going to be looking at fools in a bit. But
Yes.
I think with Nigeria, like, bro, you guys have got a nice solid back five there. Calvin Bassey today was immense, bro. Like,
Mm.
he was insane. I think Ola Aina getting up and down on the right hand side, top
Yeah,
as
he's
well.
quality.
Then you got a bit of flair on the wings with Moses Simon and Ademola Lookman. And the thing is, like, you've got industry in midfield, and you've got a bit of flair with Iwobi there as well. And up front, obviously, probably the best striker at AFCON at the moment. And the thing is, even though like today he didn't score, he had like he's an XG generator, bro. Like, he's gonna get
Yeah.
on the end of chances, or he's gonna like create a chance or something. Just before the pod started, I was talking about for the Ademola Lookman goal. Look at Osimhen's movement, bro. Like, that
Yeah.
is just like elite striker movement, bro. He's moving forward, back, like he's just confusing off his defender. He doesn't know where he's gonna attack, what post he's attacking.
Yeah.
But then I think that was the chance later on in the game as well, where he's played through on goal, and the pass looks like it's behind him, but he just shrugs off the defender, and like the shot
Yeah.
eventually gets
Shots on
blocked
his
on his
left.
left foot.
It gets blocked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, again, bro, he's made the best out of something that wasn't ideal. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
And I feel like the fact that you guys are defensively solid, and like betting on something defensively solid is probably the best bet in AFCON, where things are unexpected. And then you've got the flair, and you've got a striker that can get on that. I feel like Osimhen is going to get on the end of at least 1 to 2 to 3 chances a game. Like, and he did that today as well. They had the offside goal as well. So yeah, like, if you've got a striker that's going to do that, I back him to score one eventually from those chances. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, you've got a solid defense, nice wing backs, a bit of industry and flair. So I have to go with Nigeria. I think that's my favourites personally.
Aaron, bro, what are you saying?
I was gonna do the exact same thing. I was gonna say Nigeria, because I was just looking quickly at the knockout, like the tree, and I'm trying to see like who's next in the brackets. But I don't know. I know right now Congo and Guinea are playing, and Guinea are 1-0 up. But I don't know. When I look at these teams, it's like obviously I have to hate watch Nigeria in it. I can't see Nigeria doing well. But when I look at these teams and I look at the players they have, I don't know. It just feels like the quality with Nigeria is too much. I'm not sure. Does Tosin play for you guys, or did he not play for Nigeria?
Tosin Adebayo.
Yeah.
Nah. He doesn't play.
He doesn't. Okay. But I was gonna say I was looking at just like the players you have, even the players you have coming off the bench. Like today, for example, I thought Moses Simon was really good actually.
Yeah, after I criticized him last week, he was actually very good.
Yeah,
he
I thought
showed up today.
Riffing defenders, doing this and that. I don't know. I don't think Chukwueze's necessarily been that good, but I feel like that sort of quality, like someone like a Chukwueze, is what other teams would have as their like starting winger. Do you know what I mean? And it feels like to me, like, but obviously AFCON things can happen, but it's like, I don't know. It feels like the quality would just be too much. Like Ola Aina, for example, at first, maybe earlier in his career when he was at Chelsea and stuff, like you maybe wouldn't expect him to look as mature as he does now when you see him today on the right flank. Like, I don't know. It looks like, I don't know. It just feels like there's some players where it's just like Osimhen, Aina, Lookman, like Moses Simon's performance today. Like, it feels like these sorts of things are like what maybe other teams have one guy that's doing that level of performance, whereas you have like all these guys doing it. I think Iwobi's not really been the best. I don't know. I wouldn't say. I feel a bit disappointed personally. Like I think he's someone that I would have expected to do better throughout the whole tournament. But I don't know. I feel like me saying that, as I said, that's what's his name? I think his name's Gelson Dala from Angola.
Yeah.
he's people calling this guy like this is like baby Liao, like this guy's cooking or whatever. And I think Mabalulu as well. Like these
Yeah,
guys
yeah,
in the game didn't really do much. Do you know what I mean? And it feels like those you guys. It feels like in theory you don't have that problem because if Osimhen doesn't really play well, you still do have like Moses Simon can turn up. Do you know what I mean? You
yeah.
still do have Lookman who can turn up and has been turning up. Do you know what I mean? It feels like I don't know. It just feels hard to look past you guys being the favourites, especially one goal conceded all tournament.
Mm.
Like I don't know, man. It feels like this is the Nigeria show, but I hope not, man. I really hope not. I hope it's a hefty 4-0 loss in the next game to South Africa or Cape Verde, and yeah, man. I hope it's miserable, but I don't know. It looks like it won't be. It looks like it will be seriously something. How many AFCONs are you guys on right now? Is it like 3?
3, yeah, yeah, yeah. You guys are 4 in it, so we can't lie. We
Yeah,
need this one still.
yeah, that's
We
what I'm
need this
saying.
one.
Oh yeah, it's not looking good, man. It's not looking good for us. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Nigeria, my favorites personally. I'm guessing your favorite's Nigeria too.
Nah, I'd have to say Ivory Coast, man. Nah, I think, yeah, no, obviously I hear and I agree with everything you guys said. I think if you're looking at it kind of objectively, you probably would say we are in the best position right now because even though Ivory Coast are host nation and it's yeah, and they've done well to beat Senegal now. In the group stages, they weren't looking very good. I think if you're accumulating the performances, we probably played the best overall out of the teams here. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's obviously just hard to pick us as favorites. But yeah, I would probably say I'd expect us now to go in and win it. That would be the goal. I think. I mean, the way Nigerians think, most of us will be expecting us to win it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, yeah. I think what semi final will be either South Africa or Cape Verde. I think I'd probably rather face Cape Verde than South Africa. 'Cause I just think South Africa just have that. I don't know. I just think they're more of a almost like a unknown quantity. They just have. I don't know. I can just see them surprising us somehow out of nowhere, getting a goal or two or something like that. So I'd probably rather face Cape Verde, but I'm expecting, to be honest, to face Ivory Coast in the final if we do make it that far. I think they're gonna. I think they'll beat Mali and they'll beat whoever they have to beat in the semi-final. And I think, yeah, just obviously being at home, being the home nation, like it's gonna take them. The players will be together and stuff, and I think, yeah, it's gonna take them to the final where hopefully Nigeria come out victorious. But yeah, that's all we've got for this episode. Thank you to my co-host Aaron and obviously our guest ZK. If you got anything you want to plug, shout out, anything like that, now's
Nah,
your time.
nothing at all, bro. Nothing at all.
Yeah, no worries, man. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for working with us, and until next week, we're out.